Hey, this is Eliot, a longtime buddy of Mike Elefante from college at Elon University. Go Elon. Yeah, the past few years, I've taken an avid interest in real estate and, was really looking for a way to get into the real estate market. I live in Miami, Florida, and wasn't really sold on this being a great place for me to invest, but nonetheless, got in touch with Mike about some of his success that I've been seeing over the internet. I've known him for a while, trusted him, plenty enough to start to inquire and really unpack some of the details behind his short-term Airbnb rentals. And so, yeah, when I got involved with Mike and Airbnb Investor Academy, just really started to inquire on more and more details on how it works, how they've experienced success, himself and his wife Jill, and just really all the facts behind it, and started to try and dig in into why it may make sense for someone like myself. And so, yeah, I mean, once I really started to get behind everything that him and Jill were doing, what really intrigued me was just the facts of looking at his spreadsheets in his Investor Academy, and learning how to forecast cash flow, and learning how to evaluate the property itself to see what was going to make sense for myself and what I was trying to achieve. And so, even things like how once the home or the cabin is purchased, how to furnish it in a way that's going to generate, even way more revenue potential than what was there before, if it was a short-term rental before in that case, and to achieve higher occupancy and things of that nature. So, I'm not a super techie person by any means, but Mike's spreadsheets super self-explanatory, plug and play when you get in there to forecast cash flow and occupancy and expenses, so on and so forth. So, yeah, I really started to get behind what Mike was doing, and started to set up my own alerts. And I decided to go into Gatlinburg, Tennessee, the same area that Mike had purchased in. Just don't mess with success, sort of thing. I knew him and Jill had a ton of success there, so why wouldn't I try and just kind of copy and paste, do the same thing? Success leaves clues, however you want to say it. So, yeah, I purchased a cabin. My cousin Ed and I, we purchased it. We closed February 19th in the Gatlinburg area, and we went live on April 1. Was the first tenant that we had in short term to come stay with us. So, since we launched, we did move in on the 19th of February. Started to do a lot of cosmetic renovations, furniture removal, moving in, things of that sort. We fixed up the backyard. Just all in all, about 40 days from the moment we got the keys closed until we had our first tenant in April 1. And so, yeah, we're about, it's April 15th, about 2 weeks into April so far. Our numbers for April, are certainly, they look very good. I think we're gonna, we did, I should say, as soon as we listed our property on Airbnb and VRBO, we did pay we were fortunate, the mortgage was paid off within 2.5 hours of us being booked on both those sites, which is like a huge eye opener. Granted, we're a new property, and so those that property did pop up kind of first and things like that. But regardless, it was pretty wild. And our cash flow in our first month of April right now, granted, we still have 9 days in the month that have not been booked. All in all, but we're going to cash flow just on this month about $1,700 on our first month here, and we're especially excited for the summer months, in which our occupancy right now is forecasted even 3, 4, and 5 times higher, May through July. So, yeah, super excited, obviously, and couldn't have done it without the Airbnb Investor Academy and all Mike's guidance. Especially what we're so excited, and even outside of the cash flow and the equity we're building in the home, which is obviously great, but what we're most thrilled with, I'd say, speaking on behalf of Ed and myself, my cousin, um, is just how the property and the cabin itself runs on autopilot. And what I mean by runs on autopilot is, through Mike's Airbnb Investor Academy, it's super simple, but he walks you through all the tools and softwares. We run a total of 5 different logins and softwares that help things with, the pricing per night and what the occupancy per night, and how we should price our cabin out, and in addition to which sites these are on, how we communicate with the tenants, things like that, where we've really just connected, all of our different softwares through Mike's and the Airbnb Investor Academy's guidance, to where we really don't touch much at all our Airbnbs. So everything really runs on autopilot, which just allows it to be so much more passive, than people traditionally think an Airbnb or short-term rental would be. So, yeah, all in all, I mean, it's, I can speak on behalf of my cousin Ed and myself, how it's changed our life. First and foremost, after, a month or so, or being into and having purchased the property, we're kicking ourselves, why haven't we done this a couple years ago, right? And so, perspective on investing and just, having your money work for you. This is just a great example of, making an investment in not just the cabin, but, the program, Airbnb Investor Academy, the automation tools, to where, you're spending money to make money ultimately. And this is a perfect example. So, yeah, guys, great testimonial from me. I encourage all you guys to get involved. I mean, in hindsight, would pay triple, quadruple right now, knowing what I know now, for what the Airbnb Investor Academy costs. And most importantly, for my cousin Ed and myself, I can say we are definitely excited for the next one as well. So, yeah. Anyways, this is Eliot, Mike's friend from Elon, and yeah, good luck, guys. Talk to you.